Hey guys, this is Comic Uno and LRM Online, and today I'm doing Comic Uno, the weekly roundup, episode 4. So, it's kind of a light news week again. There wasn't any TV shows or movies to talk about this week, but we still have a lot to talk about. It's kind of this weird lull because we're ending summer, so all the summer events and summer movies are gone, and the TV shows haven't started yet, and we haven't gotten to the big events of, like, say, Marvel, DC. We're kind of in the middle of DC Rebirth now, so we're kind of in this moment of slow news. But let's see, what news did come out this week? So, last week we had all these teasers that said MU. It was just like the silver, kind of generic logo. You didn't really know what it was about. A lot of people were saying maybe it was X-Men related, maybe it's MCU related, and maybe it's a Marvel anthology book. Well, it is an anthology book, but it has nothing to do with superheroes. It has to do with one of their older titles, which is Monsters Unleashed, which I think is a perfect fit for Cullen Bunn. But I will say, when I heard the announcement, I was a little disappointed, just because there was so much hype around it, and like they sent out like 5 teasers, and it ends up being like a monster anthology book. It's just something I guess I didn't expect, but I like the writer that's doing it. I think he does some good horror books. I think just recently he had a werewolf book from Vertigo that I definitely like the beginning from. He definitely has a good amount of horror books. So, and then the artists are great, or at least some of them are. I really like Adam Kubert's art. Greg Land, I'm not a huge fan of his art style, but yeah, it's cool we're seeing different art styles for this book. I'll try it out, I think, but I'm not as excited as I was, and I think this might be similar to Zenescope's title, Tales of Terror, like kind of that anthology book, but I hope it's not too similar, because I'm like, I read that title, like I don't need another one of that now just published by Marvel and more expensive. But let's move on to the next topic, which is, Deathstroke for the upcoming DC movies. So Deathstroke's gonna be in an upcoming DC movie. We don't know which one though. So Ben Affleck, I think he shared this on Tuesday. He shared a video of Deathstroke. So is it in Justice League? Is it in Batman? Is it like a Suicide Squad 2 villain? Not that that's been announced, but people have been speculating that. I was not a fan of the costume, honestly. I thought it was a little bit bulky, but I do like the Arrow costume more, and that's a TV show costume. But overall, I'm excited to see Deathstroke and to see what they do with the character, because we did see an awesome portrayal of Deathstroke in Arrow, and we've seen some great portrayals in like the Teen Titans cartoon. So what can the movie universe kind of bring to this character? Will we see Rose? Will we see Jericho? So it'll be interesting, hopefully. Now next is not comic book related, but I did talk about this TV show on this show, and it's Stranger Things officially being confirmed that it will have a second season. But I really enjoyed Stranger Things, and I'm glad to hear it's getting a second season, hopefully sooner than later. I know they're going to be at New York Comic Con. Hopefully I get to see that panel, because I really enjoyed the show. And like I said, glad it's the same cast. I think that's important. That's why I liked this show, was because of the cast and the characters. You wanna follow them more. I'm glad it's not an anthology series. I can't believe I'm using the word anthology so much in this video. But yeah, very excited about this news. Now, moving on to an interesting news piece, which is the new Warriors on ABC, possibly in development with, wait for it, the lead is Squirrel Girl. Alright, so I personally do not read the Squirrel Girl comic. Not that I think it's bad, it's just not really my thing. And I didn't really read the New Warriors, you know, the older stuff. I read some of the newer New Warriors, which only lasted like 8 issues. It was not a long-running series. But yeah, the New Warriors, I don't know if it need a TV show. I do think ABC needs a superhero show. I do believe it should be Kamala Khan. I think that one would fit, or that character would fit really well for that network, or Freeform. I think it would do better on ABC. But yeah, Squirrel Girl, I think is a cool character. I think people will like her, but I don't know if she's really a lead for a team. So especially for a TV show, and again, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. not doing great in the ratings. They really need a heavy hitter here, and I just don't know if Squirrel Girl is that character. Well, moving on to the last news piece, which is Black Lightning is getting a TV show from Berlanti, who's been doing all these superhero shows, Supergirl, Arrow, all the good stuff. And Black Lightning is a character that we haven't really seen in a while. I don't think he's even appeared in the New 52. So I am curious what they're going to do. I've never really read a lot of Black Lightning, so I think that's why I'm extremely curious, just because I don't know much about the character. But it also brings more diversity to the screen. I'm also curious if it's going to be on the CW, if it's going to be on another network. I think it'll be smarter to put on another network, just because the CW is kind of getting crowded. And if there was going to be another CW show, I want it to be Teen Titans related. But also, you know, a couple of years back, they mentioned a Static Shock show. And I'm kind of sad that it seems like that's not really happening, because Black Lightning and Static Shock have very similar power sets. So if there's going to be a Black Lightning show, I don't know if there's really room for a Static Shock show. But we'll see. I'm curious to see where this is going to go, what network is going to pick it up. It's cool. Like I said, it's interesting to see more diversity and to see kind of a lesser known character hit the screens. Alright, so that's all the news for this week. Now we are moving on to comic books. So again, no TV shows or movies this week, but my comic book pick of the week this week really blew me away. It beat the competition by far, and that was All New Wolverine Annual Issue 1. I really enjoyed this book because a lot of times with annuals, they tend to split it up into short stories, you know. You pay $4.99 for like 5 short stories, and you might like one, you might think one's okay, you might not like the other. So it's this grab bag that you're getting with these annuals that you can never fully enjoy because there's so many different voices in one book. But here, it's just one tone, one voice that, you know, you don't necessarily need to read. Like, it's not a life-changing annual, but it's so much fun, and it reminds you what you can do with a one-shot. And it's Laura and Gwen switching bodies, Wolverine and Spider-Gwen switching bodies, and you can tell that they have very different personalities, they have very different power sets, so you don't really, you do see them experiment throughout the whole issue of, you know, Laura, technically Gwen, not knowing her own strength, or Gwen putting claws into her face. It's a really fun issue with great art, and I think Tom Taylor knew these characters' voices really well, and it made for a really fun issue. I give it 5 stars, actually. I just love that issue. Can't wait to see more of Wolverine, and hopefully Tom Taylor writing Spider-Gwen again, because that was amazing. Now, what books am I looking forward to for the upcoming week? There's a lot of indie books I'm looking forward to. A lot of issue 1s I'm getting, but number 3 is Paper Girls issue 9. I love this series. I think it's amazing. I know it's going on hiatus soon. I don't know what issue, but this is a really, really good book. If you like Stranger Things, actually, this is like the comic book version of Stranger Things. Instead of male main characters, it's female main characters. So, really good. Number 2 is one of my favorite titles right now going on, and that's Revival issue 42, and it seems like we're gonna finally find out who killed M. Now, this has been a mystery since the beginning of the series. We've had to wait a long time, but we're getting to the finale of this series, which I'm definitely weeping a tear, because I love this title. But yeah, I think it's gonna really hit it out of the park. It seems like they're doing a lot of great build up for this conclusion, just to make it an epic ending. So last but not least, one of my favorite DC Rebirth titles right now, and it didn't start out that way, it just progressively kept getting better, and that is Batman issue 6. I love the direction this book is going, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Gotham Girl, especially after issue 5. So Again, it's one of my favorite DC Rebirth books so far. Pick it up if you're not. So those are the 3 titles I'm really looking forward to. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, I'll have another episode of Comic Uno, the weekly roundup next week on LRM Online. And I will see you guys later.